Hey everybody, this is a video of me making the answer key for a couple of ACCs for my MIAP students. Alright, first, negative powers. Evaluate the following. Remember that negative power means a reciprocal, so that's actually like saying 1 over 6 squared, which is 1 over 36. Yes, it says evaluate on this page. We should probably have added evaluate without a calculator. For B, it's basically the opposite. You can think of this, if you like, as 1 over, and then this reciprocal, so it's 1 over 5. Is that a 3 cubed? Yeah. And, of course, when you divide by a fraction, you times by the reciprocal, so that 5 cubed ends up on top. If you understand that very well, you can really just skip this step and realize that, well, the reciprocal in a denominator is going to end up in the numerator. So if you just jump right from there to there, that's fine. But we do have to finish it off. 5 cubed is 125. Next, okay, this one requires a little more thinking. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to think of this as 3 things. You don't have to write this down, but this is the way I'm thinking. I'm thinking of this as 16 over 49 to the negative 1. Then I'm thinking about having that as a power to the 1/2, and then I'm thinking about that cubed. Now remember, you learned back in grade 9 that when you multiply, or when you take a power of a power, you multiply them. So this is a power of a power of a power. I'm multiplying those 3 numbers, and those 3 numbers multiply to make negative 3/2. Why would I do it in this order? Because it's easier. The negative 1 means I reciprocal it. There. Now I can do the next 2 steps. That one's done. Then I take it to the 1/2, which means, of course, the same thing as square rooting. Right? Remember that the exponent of 1/2 means to square root. So that's going to be 7 over 4. And finally, cube. So let's see, 7 cubed, that's 49 times 3, that's 150 with 3 taken away, so 147? Is that right? I should probably check that. Yeah. 7 times 7 is 49. 50 times 3 would be 150, so it's 3 less than 150. Yeah, that's right. And 4 cubed, that one I know is 64. Now, why did I choose to do the square root before the cube? That was a choice, mainly because I know what the square root of 49 and 16 is. I have no idea what the cube of 49 is. I had a hard enough time cubing. Oops, sorry, I'm off the page. Let me start that little sentence again. Why did I choose to do the 1/2 before the 3? Well, because I know the square root of 49 and 16. I have no idea what 49 cubed is. 16 cubed I probably could have done in my head, but 49 cubed, no way. It was hard enough to do 7 cubed. So that's the order I did that in. Okay, same trick for this one. I'm kind of in my head thinking of this as this to the power of negative 1 to the power of 1/3. So 1/8 to the power of negative 1 is just negative 8. Right? It doesn't affect this negative, it just reciprocals it. So that's negative 8 to the power of 1/3, which is the cube root of negative 8, which is negative 2. And there we go. That's all there is to negative powers. If you can do that, you will ace the little test we've put together for you when it comes to 4.5. And now the big bad 4.6. This is about as tough as this stuff gets, really. If you can do this, you understand your power laws very, very well, and that sets you up quite well for handling all exponents in pre-calculus and calculus moving ahead. Okay, I subtract those exponents, so that's going to be b to the negative 8 minus negative 3, which is b to the negative 5. We don't want negative exponents, only use positive exponents in the answer, so that's 1 over b to the 5. Okay, next one. That negative reciprocals everything that's in that bracket, but it's still being taken to the power of 3. 4 to the power of 3 is 64. M squared to the power of 3 is m to the 6, and n cubed to the power of 3 is n to the 9. Cool. All right, this is square rooting everything, but you know what? I'm going to simplify what's in the bracket first. So I'm square rooting everything, but I'm going to simplify what's inside there. So that's going to be 27 over 3, which is 9. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6, and there won't be anything left in the denominator just yet. B to the power of 1, remember that's a 1, right? 1 minus negative 3 is 4. Okay, what can I do with that? Well, that will reciprocal down to the denominator. That's a 9. And now I can just square everything. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of b to the 4 is b squared. And careful with the square root of a to the 6. Okay? Think about it like this. It's a to the 6 to the power of 1/2. You multiply those exponents together. This is scrap work, obviously. This is a to the 3. Okay? It is not a to the 4. It's a to the 3. Make sure that makes sense to you. All right. Once again, I'm going to see, is there anything I can simplify in here? Well, there's nothing I can do with 8 and 125. But 2 minus 8 is -6. And 7 minus 4, that is a 7, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I have to check that. 7 minus 4 is 3. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to deal with this negative. Well, actually, I'm going to simplify that first. So 8y cubed, that -6 is going to become a denominator. Okay. Now, I've simplified the inside. Now I'm going to deal with this negative. Now I'm going to deal with cube rooting everything here. So I'm dealing with the 3, right? Because again, I'm thinking of 2/3 as 1/3 times 2. So I'm cube rooting, then I'm squaring. Oh, and I'm off the screen again. Sorry about that. I pay more attention to the screen in front of me here. Okay, so get that out of the way too. So cube rooting 125 gives me 5. The cube root of x to the 6 is x to the 2. Think about that. Again, x to the 6 to the 1/3. That's 6 times a third, which is 2. Make sure that makes sense. And again, this is just scrap work. So this is 5x squared. And then 8 cube rooted is 2. Y cubed cube rooted is just y. But I still haven't dealt with this 2 yet, so I'm still squaring everything. So 5 squared is 25. X squared is x. I said x. X to the 4. And 2 squared is 4, y squared is y squared. And there we have it. Okay. That is about as tough as this stuff gets. Watch for my next video where I'm going to make a key for the review.